Absolutely perfect execution there. Change up off the plate to the left-hander, right where you want to throw it. Great sign early on. Nice job by Lippett going into foul ground up the left field line. It's a much easier play for him than India, and Langworthy out in left field had no play on it either. So good job by the shortstop taking charge of the infield. Kind of froze him there with looked like a fastball, but pretty good movement on the fastball. Not overpowering at 86, 87. Definitely seeing some good two-seam movement that can run in on the hands on some right-handed hitters. That is impressive power out of Maldonado. And that ball did not look to me like he squared it up off the barrel. And I mean, that had plenty of home run distance down that left field line. Second baseman Brodeur for the Rams playing way up the middle. There is a big hole on the right side between first and second base. India, he was 1 for 3 last game and entering his fourth at bat and benefited from that infield single. And sometimes that's just exactly what gets you going. It changes your day from 1 for 4 to 2 for 4.
It evens out.
That's what they say. I like that idea from Kevin O'Sullivan, giving India the green light 3-0. And I like even more that India is willing to take that hack at it 3-0. Shows a lot of confidence as a hitter. Lined out right where those 2 hits went in the first game.
A home run for Juliana, and the Rams lead 1-0.
Yeah, he had a double in game 1 to that same spot, right center field. He's got some power out that way. Completely agree, and good idea there. Good execution, honestly. It ends up going just foul, but that's really what you want to do. If it's fair, it's a hit. If it's foul, it's just strike 1. He's been sharp. Change up there for the second strike, and then two-seam fastball right on the outside corner for strike 3. And according to Rams coach Serrato, Foley's really a streaky guy that kind of went through a roller coaster up and down season last year, and they're looking for a little more consistency this year. Bell giving Coar a nice feed over there as he covers the bag. Not the easiest play. It looks a little more routine than it is.
You work on that in practice all the time, don't you?
It's what they call PFPs. If you notice, Coar started this at bat trying to throw that curveball over, but he missed.
1-1. Another breaking ball there is a strike.
That's the pitch to me that if you look at his last start versus Stony Brook, that was really the only blip. It was the command of that pitch.
1-2, change-ups low, 2-2.
He obviously has got an incredible fastball, and that changeup is really his out pitch. The curveball, if he could get a little more consistency with it, can really make him a lethal pitcher. Was a medical redshirt after his sophomore season. He actually sat out his junior, or what would have been his junior season. Definitely going to be a throwing error on Dollar there. Ranging to his left, does a good job cutting it off. He actually got his momentum going towards first, but just bounced the throw, and first baseman McManus couldn't come up with it. Leadoff man aboard for the Gators. Rams catcher Sonny Uliana's throw just up kind of towards the first base side of the bag, allowing Horvath. I'm not sure if a perfect throw gets him, but it would have been close. Langworthy's number one goal is to try and move Nick Horvath over to third base, get him into scoring position with less than 2 outs. Also a great job by Nick Horvath on the read there as the base runner on second, seeing that ball's not hit that hard, although it is towards the third base side. As the base runner over there as well, you key in a little bit more for that, try and read the ball out of the pitcher's hands. If you see an off-speed pitch that's angled downward, going to bounce in front of the catcher, you can really get a big secondary lead and take off. That's a tough ball hit right at him, slicing off the bat of the left-hander. Did a real good job coming in, tracking it. Coar threw it just where he wanted to. Fastball outside corner, probably borderline, but he's established that he has the control to throw it where he wants early on, and oftentimes that'll buy you an extra inch or two off the plate with the umpire. Rams second baseman Brodeur playing in right field. He's a good 4 or 5 steps onto that outfield grass. He actually entered the day without an extra base hit on the season. got his first of the year with the double in game one, and then just hit it a little harder to the same spot for the home run for his second. Last year he actually tore his labrum in game two of the season and wasn't able to catch the rest of the way. He was actually... Real nice play by Lippett there, going in the hole, gloving it, and coming up making a strong throw across the diamond. Stathopoulos has kept the Rams more than competitive in this game. He's got himself out of some jams, first and third, back in the third inning, able to get out of that with surrendering just the one run. He's really pitching. He's not overpowering, but he's moved the ball in and out. He'll drop a curveball in there to get ahead in the count. It's been pretty impressive so far. Even when you're not overpowering, when you don't have a fastball in the 90s, when you can get ahead of hitters 0-1, it really just changes the whole dynamic, and you can still have success. And the thing that's so tough is this Gators lineup 1 through 9. There's no easy out, so when you get one, you hate to give it away and give the guy another shot.
Adds to your pitch count, too. So, but the biggest one, as you said, not getting the out. 2-2, and there is a perfect example. Line drive, base hit to center field.
Changes his outlook on the day a little bit. He pops one up to the catcher. He's staring 0 for 3, headed back to the dugout. Instead, he's got himself a base hit up the middle. He's feeling good about himself. He's 1 for 3. He's got a hit in his last at bat. And mentally, nailed it. He should be out of the inning and probably wants to relay that to him, say you're doing a great job, don't worry, that hit's not your fault. Going back to that play by Reese, it's impressive to understand and have that mental clock in your head. Sometimes you'll see guys unnecessarily throw that off their back foot and play it into a single.
That's another strike.
Good location on the curveball there. Real nice job finishing. Absolutely. You saw it in game 1 too with Janglos. Both guys really just try and move the ball around. They rely on their location and really pitching as opposed to throwing overpowering fastballs. Also saw what Sonny Uliana, Rhode Island catcher, is capable of last inning, throwing as good as you can throw the ball down to second base to get that out. Just took a fastball, kept his hands inside it. Good contact, ball up the middle for a clean single. Got the cleanup hitter. Runners on first and second. You bunt now?
Well, counts.
The other concern, liability to ground into a double play, does not run overly well. So Gators defense on the infield has shown the ability to turn over just about anything. Lippett was kind of signaling for what they call a daylight play to try and pick the runner off second. Kowar ends up throwing the pitch, leaving a wide open hole if the ball were to be hit to shortstop on that last pitch. Although it didn't amount to anything with Lippett in that daylight play, Kowar throwing that pitch, that is something I would expect Kevin O'Sullivan to mention after the game. Boy, that's an aggressive call with the double steal there. Maybe the Rams saw something in Kowar not burying his look. Definitely going for the strikeout here with 1 out. Any ball in play could be a run, so you want to obviously minimize that risk. The Rams couldn't ask for a better situation in the 7th inning with leading run on third with just 1 out. Lays off the high curveball, gets ahead in the count, then he gets a fastball, puts a good swing on it to the left center gap, gives the Rams the lead 2-1. Curveball again that he's trying to spot to get ahead of the hitter, and he's just not completely bringing it back over the plate, not completely finishing that pitch. Certainly, if you had told them at the beginning of the day he could throw 6 innings giving up just the 1 run, they would have taken it. And see if they can get 1 more out of him. They may not be looking for 3 outs here. Back-to-back off-speed pitches by Stathopoulos. Gets ahead of Bell with a curveball, and then through what looked like a changeup. Bell got out just in front of it. He barreled it up pretty well, but just under it, and able to run it down there was Foley in right field. India playing in, taking away a bunt there at third base. And facing the #1 team in the nation, your team's just lost the opening 2 games of the series, and you come out, throw 7 excellent innings, surrendering obviously just the 1 run, with a chance to walk out of here with a win. Johnson up around 88, 89. Really kind of a change of pace, a lot harder than anything the Florida lineup has seen all day today, and it might not be 95, but when you've been seeing 84 all day, someone comes in throwing 88, 89, it's a little difficult to just flip that switch. Threw him a 3rd slider there, got him to chase in the dirt. Unfortunately, ball just got away from him. The opportunity to take a game from the #1 team in the country in Gainesville is something to hang your hat on. Play I looked at earlier was runners on 1st and 3rd. Maldonado hit a ball to left center that the center fielder Powell ran down. That ball looked like it had the gap written all over it. Ends up being just the sac fly.
0-2, fouled away.
Of course, Gators obviously only got the 1 run in that inning, and for me, that's the play that maybe goes unnoticed a little bit, but really a game changer. With Nick Johnson clearly establishing the slider as kind of his go-to pitch, I would expect the Gators to give, I would think, Lippett, Reese, and Bell, left-handed hitters, an option, the opportunity rather, to hit, as that slider isn't as effective to left-handers. You got Indias leading off here, but then the potential with Reese, obviously the switch hitter, with 3 lefties to follow, kind of take away that slider. The combination of so close to the line and in really opens up that 5-6 hole. Stay back, drive ball to right center gap, and he was thinking 2 out of the box. No play at second. Rams center fielder Powell actually did a good job getting to that ball and cutting it off, but India's speed running hard out of the box, not even close at second base. You can make an argument on both sides of it, whether to bunt or not. Fact is, you just had 2 guys square it up pretty good, so you got some momentum. You might not want to just give away an out. Had a bit of a tough start this year, but was very effective last year. Just a 1.38 ERA. He actually has worked as their closer quite a bit. 3rd baseman Matt Dollar really kind of showing his hand early too. Almost even with the mound. Not a bad opportunity for a slash. The ground ball took Rhode Island first baseman McManus towards the bag, and he stepped on the bag to get the force out, looked towards second. No play there. Wisely did not throw it. The majority of the time, this is kind of by the book, put him on and try and set up the double play.
And now they're going to put him on. That's a strike. How about that?
Yeah, that was on purpose as well, I have to imagine.
So the key to that at bat was the deke on the intentional walk.
Yeah, with the catcher Sonny Uliana holding his right hand out, signaling put him on, let's throw this pitch out. I mean, that fastball came, it wasn't your typical 4-pitch put him on fastball either. It had something on it, so something leads me to believe that was drawn up.
They didn't. They got a good start from their starting pitcher and almost pulled it off.
Yeah, they gave it everything they had. As you said, got the barn doors blown off in games 1 and 2 and come back and not only be competitive, but really be in a position to win the game, leading 2-1 in the 9th. I'm sure it's a heartbreaking loss for Rhode Island. They've got a lot to be proud of, certainly a lot of good things to take away from this. But it's going to be tough, and they're going to be thinking about it for it's not going to wear off anytime soon.
And get a win like that, and who knows what this will do for the Gator team going forward here.
Absolutely. When you're in the bottom of the 9th and you need a run or you lose the game, it doesn't matter who you're playing, to come back and not just get the 1, but get 2 and walk off with it in the 9th. Something they will remember as the season moves on. And freshman Jordan Butler, with 2 strikes on him, coming through, getting that hit, threw the right side there for all intents and purposes. Be easy to fold over in that at bat. They had already tied it. Pressure's not really on him there, but he does a great job with 2 strikes, putting a good swing on it, and just a great team win. As Kevin O'Sullivan said there, lost in the shuffle was Jack Leftwich, bouncing back after a tough outing that didn't go as well as he would have liked versus UCF, but he's as much a reason for the final score and the W as anyone tonight.
All right, good working with you today.